Hey everyone, it's Pisces Moonbeam and welcome to Radko Tarot. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do a pick a pile reading regarding what you need to know about your current love situation. And we're going to go into that and pull on that energy. And then we're going to go into some connecting energies between you and your person and get some guidance on that as well. So if this is not your type of reading, please feel free to click off now. Thank you so much for stopping by and for supporting the channel and Radko and I. And for those of you who don't necessarily like these videos because I'm holding the camera with my hand, I apologize for that as well, but this was a very spur of the moment thing, and I just felt really called to do this reading today. So we have 6 cards per pile. I am using both of my decks, the Faded Love Oracle and the Love Rush Oracle, and these bracelets to choose from, these crystals are the Pedialyte for pile number 1, mixed Tourmaline for pile number 2, and amethyst for pile number 3. So some of you like to choose with crystals, so I'm just going to go in and try and zoom in a little bit without changing the lighting or shaking the camera. And some of you like to go by numbers, so we have first pile, the Pedialyte number 1, mixed Tourmaline 2, and amethyst number 3. So I just also want to make something clear before we start. I do channel for people that are currently experiencing challenges in their situations. Now, I'm also not about labels, whether you call it a twin flame, a soulmate, a friendship, a lover, that is up to you. Okay, but I'm here to just do what I do. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and you can always pick more than one pile as well. The timestamps will be down below, and I hope that this message resonates with you. So let's get started. So for those of you that picked pile number 1, the Pedialyte Bracelet, this is your reading. The first card out, we have Hidden Truths, Secret Scandals, and Invisible Details. So what this means to me is that you're currently in a situation where not only are things being hidden from you, but you're aware of this. Okay, this is not news to you. There are things going on that are not yet revealed, and this is causing a little bit of unsettledness. This is causing perhaps a little bit of wanting to lash out, wanting to ask questions. There's a lot of you in this pile who picked this pile that are very much aware that things are being withheld, whether it's your person who's not coming clean and not saying exactly what it is that's on their mind or in their heart, or what's going on in their life. There's just a lot of things that are being kept from you. And there's also a lot of people watching this where you might be keeping things from someone as well. You might be keeping secrets. You might not be letting them know exactly how their actions are affecting you as well. But there's a lot going on here with this card, especially where it says scandal, because sometimes, yes, there is scandal. There are scandals involved. So there's definitely a little bit of an underlying message and layers to this pile, because I feel like you're connected to a person and a situation where either something is being pulled over your eyes, or you're pulling something over someone else's eyes, or even perhaps a third party. And it's getting to the point where a lot of you are very much conscious of this, okay? And that's why this card is coming up to remind you that whatever the situation is, there's some things and pieces that are missing. Not everything is being revealed. So the next card, that's just beautiful. We have miracles, creation, birth, renewal, blessings, and act of God. So if you're praying, okay, some of you are probably praying for the truth, or praying for a miracle, or just praying to see the clarity of the situation. And you're probably praying for those of you that really do feel a connection to this person and believe that good things can manifest from this. You're probably praying for an opportunity to have that exactly happen, which is where creation is possible, where the rainbow comes out after the storm when things are dark, because she can't see. When things are dark, they become light again. And you know what? Miracles happen every day, but the bottom line is that This is all happening because this is an act of God. And if anything is supposed to keep going with this person, you better believe that these secrets and these invisible details are a big part of your story. And without them, these miracles that may occur here, and I never say will, because who am I to say that, right? I'm just tapping into the now. Everybody has free wills. If someone's hiding stuff from you, if someone's saying one thing and doing another, there's no guarantee that they will ever realize, or let alone, even if they do realize that it's wrong, decide to act any different. But when this card shows up, miracles, after a card like Hidden Truth, this is a huge sign that without these hard times, and without being able to see clearly, you'll never get to the miracle. This has to happen before the miracle occurs. Whether it's a renewal, whether it's a blessing, or even if it's a blessing in disguise and a situation ends, once these invisible details and these hidden truths come to the surface, it will feel like a miracle. And for some of you, this will cause the two of you to either connect on a deeper level or reconnect if there's been a separation, and it will create movement and birthing of beautiful things. And for some of you, you might find out what these things that are being hidden from you are and realize that, it's a miracle that you found out because you dodged a bullet. And you can go off and you can create things and renew on your own, because depending on the situation, depending on how people respond, depending on how people are quick or not quick to get over things and move on, will really depend on your future outcome. But not just that, it's really up to God. I personally believe that everything is, even though we have free will, but some people deal with things that are hidden from them, and they hold grudges. They take them in ways that they shouldn't have. Some people just withhold certain things because of their own crap and their own insecurity. But if it's happening to you, if you're in that position, it's very easy to feel like it's personal, and we take it and we harbor that. So at the very least, for those of you that might find out some truths, okay, or if you're in the process of finding them out now, do your best to believe that it really is a miracle, because it's either leading you towards something better or saving you from something really, really, really bad. And the final card here, this is, wow, in the guidance position, we have divine intervention, change of plans, fate, and destiny. So you know what? Maybe this person, if they're withholding information, if they're being secretive, if they're acting like, they hot and cold, or they were so close, they were telling you stuff, and all of a sudden you feel like you've been iced out, or they were open and honest and full of candor, and all of a sudden they're closed off. With this miracle card and the divine intervention, I know I don't need to explain this when I do these readings, but it's so important for me that that people watching understand that there are no coincidences and cards don't lie. So whatever veered off course, if anything did, it was because this is part of your fate and your destiny. This is the divine literally intervening in the situation in order to bring about these miracles. So just the best thing I can say from these cards, for those of you that were drawn to this stone, keep your faith. Do your best to de-stress and give it up to God. Now, let's look into the current energies that are connecting you and your person. So the first card out we had is lovesick, still hanging on. So let me just bring this down. Somebody, if not the both of you, are definitely still invested into this situation, even though it's causing, I don't like this view, give me 1 second. Even though it is causing somebody to possibly feel like things are unfair and almost like could be a power struggle, there's definitely a mutual connection where the two of you, I feel, are hanging on and haven't given up yet on this relationship. One possibly more than the other. But this is joint energy. This is the energy that is connecting the two of you. And the second card out that we had for that is Love Tide. So we have Love Sick that says still hanging on, And then we have love tide, waves of emotion. So there's a lot going on here underneath the surface that has yet to be revealed. Perhaps this person that's withholding information from you is definitely withholding it because they probably don't know how to process it. Maybe they don't know how to come forward. I'll just bring these down. I'm sorry about that. Maybe they don't know how to come forward and say what's on their mind. Maybe they're withholding their feelings. Maybe they're withholding their emotions, and maybe their emotions do go up and down and hot and cold. But to me, between the energy that's connecting the two of you, there's a lot of love here, and these emotions go up and they go down. You might ask yourself a lot if it's worth it. If it's not, there might be a lot of confusion, but there still is a tie that binds. And another energy, the final energy that's connecting the two of you, is we have picture perfect social media. So one of you, and I have a feeling it might be the viewer, needs to either stop checking up on somebody on social media, or needs to get this picture perfect situation of how things should be out of their mind, especially if you really do feel a connection to this this person, and want to see how things can progress later on in the future, because there's no such thing as picture perfect. It's what we see on social media, and people take time to create the perfect atmosphere for the perfect photo with the perfect lighting and the perfect angles, but it takes so much time to set up that photo that takes 2 seconds to take, that goes up on social media, that doesn't show an actual real reflection of real life. So as far as the energies connecting the two of you, there's still a connection. There's a lot of emotion, but somebody is either doing something on social media that's making somebody feel bad, or somebody's very confused because they're hearing this person tell them one thing, or they're hearing things about a person, but they're seeing it's different on social media. So if you're contributing to that and you're contributing to the confusion, do your best to try to not to look up on them. They could be looking up on you as well, and they could be making assumptions by what you're posting. But the bottom line is, this is joint energy. So the ideal picture of what you might have in your mind that should be working out between the two of you right now could be based off of things you're seeing that has nothing to do with the person on social media. But the bottom line is, there's no such thing as picture perfect, and there's no such thing as anything being perfect. But perhaps the reason why there are things that are being hidden and invisible is because the idea of what your ideal relationship would be doesn't look the same to the both of you. But there is a strong connection here. So if you feel divinely guided to stick this out and to keep the faith and believe that this is all the universe working in your favor, then by all means, who am I to tell you not to? Because as I'm saying here, there is definitely love involved. Is it healthy love? Is it unhealthy love? Love is a term that's thrown around, and these are cards that have the word love on it. But there's definitely a lot more going on here that's much more powerful than the two of you. That's divinely designed, and it's fated. And yes, this is what happens. The emotions go up and down. We feel overwhelmed with love. We feel sickened by it. But even if we want to let go, and even if there's logical reasons to let go, sometimes we have a very difficult time letting go. But with these cards here, miracles and divine intervention, this is all very fated. And I feel very strongly there are a lot of good things coming here from around the corner. So we're going to move on now to pile number 2. So for those of you that picked the mixed tourmaline, this is your first card. We have divine timing, the journey, and patience. So this is definitely something that is not going to manifest overnight. And I feel like for a lot of you watching, you've already been going through this cycle for a while now. And this has to do with romance, okay? And excitement and thrills and adventure and feeling alive. And you might feel very dormant right now in this position that you're in. You might feel very dormant right now in the situation that you're in, okay? But You got to do your best to have patience and to trust the journey and the divine timing of it all. If you feel romance is lacking right now, or if it's been on pause, it's because there's a greater reason for it, but it doesn't mean that it has to be on pause forever. And then we have another chance. Wow. Reunions, revivals, and regeneration. So it's all about timing. It's with this person for this pile. It's really all about timing. Yes, there's potential for romance and excitement and attraction and just feeling like you're alive. And there's another chance for those of you that are in separation to reunite with this person, but you got to be patient. You got to focus on yourself right now on the journey and trust the journey and trust in divine timing. Now, what are the current energies that are connecting the two of you right now? These cards are from pile number 1. Sorry about that. We have self-inflicted, playing victim, set yourself free. So some of you are making this out to be, this card is like the 8 of Swords, okay? Some of you are really holding, someone else responsible for something that you're responsible for. That's not all of you, some of you, and it's time to get up off the ground and keep moving forward instead of lying there metaphorically and just expecting something to show up to save you. If you're not happy with where you are, all you can do is your best to accept it. Okay, it doesn't mean that you brought this on yourself. This is shared energy. So I feel like a lot of this between the two of you is that you might be almost blaming each other or adding to the situation instead of just setting yourself free and trusting in the divine and knowing that if this romance and if this another chance of reuniting is supposed to happen, that it's only going to happen if you stop being the one to turn the knife on yourself and move forward with your life. If you know the situation isn't working, but you know it has potential and you keep trying to force or trying to analyze or trying to ask questions, it's not the other person anymore. And this is just some cold, hard truth. And I can say this because I've been there before. I made these decks as well. And there comes a time where we have to look at ourselves and go, okay, is it really the other person or am I doing this to myself? And sometimes we do it to ourselves and we don't even realize it because it's easier to stay in the situation than to go on that solo journey, right? It's easier to stay where the romance is and where the other person is, but sometimes it just gets really painful, especially when things aren't moving, when they feel like they're stagnated. And the more we force and the more we resist what is showing up for us on this journey, the more it does become self-inflicted. So I feel like the both of you, even though this is a dynamic playing out between the two of you, where you're both possibly saying things to each other and causing things to each other or throwing around blame or even possibly shaming the other, where I'm not saying it's as far as emotional blackmail or manipulation, but both of you should try and just take a bit of a step back and focus either on your own journey and stop focusing on this and know that if it's meant to happen, the universe will deliver it in divine timing. And that if it's not meant to happen with this person, there will be romance and there will be another chance. But what you should take away from that is whatever you're doing on your end that's inflicting any type of pain or just any type of sense of discontentment, you can set yourself free. All you have to do is keep putting one foot in front of the other and just believing that you're doing what is best for you and getting comfortable with that and just radically accepting where you are. Now, this person could also be causing a lot of pain. This could be somebody who is known to sabotage a good thing. This could be somebody who brings their own problems on his or herself. But you can't control that. The longer you stick around, that would be considering self-inflicting yourself with their crap. And it's not your responsibility to carry their crap. All you can do is realize that you're not the victim if you're feeling like one. And it's very easy to feel like one, especially if somebody says and does things that are hurtful. But you have the ability to remove yourself from this. If you feel like you're really stuck in that hourglass, you can remove yourself and keep moving forward. It doesn't mean giving up. It just means you're setting yourself free. You're moving on with your journey and you're letting the universe work. And another energy that's connecting the two of you, we have direction, follow the signs. So you and your person might be getting signs of many different messages in regards to your connection. And at the same time, this person could be getting signs where they need to go in another direction for now. And you could be feeling like this is really, really hurtful and they're almost doing it on purpose. But if you're seeing that sign, if this person is iced you out or is ghosting you or is going in a direction that's away from you, you need to set yourself free. If somebody is showing you through their actions and through their behavior that they're not on the same page, not heading in the same direction, you need to follow their lead and take care of yourself. And at the same time, follow the signs that the universe is showing you, because this is all about divine timing. And now the final energy that we have is, okay, there's passion here, that cannot be denied. We have veil of passion, blinded by desire. So sometimes, again, we stay in situations because there's so much lust and heat and excitement and sparks and chemistry that we allow certain things so that we don't have to lose out on those thrills and those things that, like I said at the beginning of the reading, make us feel alive. But after a while, it can become very detrimental to our own state of mind and our life. Now, I'm not saying it's that extreme for everybody watching, but my point is yes, there's still passion connecting the two of you. And sometimes you're both blinded by desire, where you both say and do things and, you do it because there's that pull, right? There's that magnetic pull. But the reality of the situation is somebody, I feel very strongly for this, the people that picked this pile is going in a different direction, and by the other person hanging around in an unhealthy way and allowing it to happen and refusing to look at the signs and allowing the passion to blind you is not going to help you. You are going to feel like a victim. And this person could also feel like they're blindly attracted to you, and that you could be going in a direction that they just don't understand, and they could be sticking around because they don't want to let go either. This is a lot of connected energy, but the bottom line is this: trust the timing, okay? Trust the journey, trust the timing, have patience, and keep the faith, because renewals, regeneration, revivals, whether it's with this person or someone else, when the time is right, okay, it will happen. So that's really all I have to say about this one. And just do your best. If you're responsible for any type of pain that you're inflicting upon yourself, do your best to try and switch that up so that you can change that pattern so that it's not self-inflicted anymore. And that isn't the easiest thing to do. Breaking habits and breaking patterns are a lot easier said than done. But follow the direction, observe the direction this person is going in, and follow the signs that the universe is showing you for your own journey. And if your journeys are meant to be together or to reconnect, if you've been in separation, have faith that this renewal and this another chance will happen. And let's move on to pile number 3. So for pile number 3, those of you that picked the amethyst, the first card out is vibration elevation. We have soul growth and ascension. So this connection is helping you level up. It's helping you raise your own vibration. It's helping you raise your own frequency so that you can literally vibrate and attract and manifest things that are much more healthier for your soul on this journey that you're going through. And the only way to attract what we really want based on the law of attraction is to raise our vibration. And that is so important, because when we're vibrating at a negative level, we're going to see a lot of negative things appear in our life. But when we can do our best to change our vibration by changing our thoughts, which will change how we feel, this allows us to ascend to a higher level, which changes our frequency, which allows us to open up and be more in tune to what the universe has to receive. And at the same time, certain situations, especially soul connections, can force us into a much lower vibration than we've ever been used to before in order to rise up and elevate our vibration so that we can go through that growth that is so important to our life and to our journey. But let's get more information. What's this all about? Ooh, this is one of my favorite cards because to me, the true meaning of true love is having trust, communication, respect, and passion. You can't have 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4. That is not true love. And this to me is all about a very strong and deep connection between the two of you. And somebody, if it's not you or if it's not your person, needs to elevate or needs to continue elevating in order to achieve this true love. Somebody might be operating at a bit of a lower level energy where the communication isn't up to par or the trust just isn't there, or maybe the trust has been broken, which is causing you to have to switch that vibration in order to regain it and work things out. But there's a lot of passion here and there is a lot of mutual respect for the other person. That's really interesting. Oof. Reevaluation, observation, reflection, and breathe. Okay, so here's the deal. For some of you watching, you're going through the situation with somebody where you know the love is there, but it's causing you to go up and down, up and down. And for some of you for a while now, it's been pulling you down. And now you're aware about that the love is there, even though you might not feel it as a constant, but it's really, and everything you've been through is at a place where either it's causing you to just pause and reflect and observe and figure out what you want before you go forward. And if it isn't, it's causing the other person to. And if it isn't, then maybe it should. Because I feel strongly like, yes, you're elevating, you're learning from this connection, you're growing from this connection. There is love there. This is the theme of the whole thing, but maybe putting it on pause. See how this is full of color and this is black and white? I made this card black and white for a reason. Put it on pause. Let everything just try and drop from your mind so that when you do have those hits of memories or intuition or, something they said just, hits different and your perception's different, you will be able to reevaluate. So take time if you can to just observe and reflect. There's no rush, okay? Because every choice you make about the situation and every step you take will contribute to your soul's growth. And hopefully it'll only elevate your vibration higher so that if you cannot call in this true love with this specific person right now, that you will be able to in the future with somebody much more on your level. Maybe one of you needs to rise up to vibrate to the other's level. Maybe you need to vibrate at the other one's level. Maybe you're not on the same page, but I feel like this is a very strong connection. It has a lot to do with learning about yourself and your triggers and what you do and don't bring to the table that are positive and negative. And this is more about you and not necessarily the other person, although I do feel that those watching, you've been through thick and you've been through thin with this other person. I feel like a lot of you watching, this is possibly a past life thing. This is possibly a potential marriage in the future. I'm just going to say it. This is like something where like, this is really, really deep and this is a really powerful connection. So what are the joint energies? What's like the karma between the two of you? What are the energies that are connecting you right now at this moment of the reading? We have renewal, luck, and happiness. So that is just super positive. That to me just shows that, there's definitely hope and there's definitely a desire. If you're in separation, a mutual desire for the two of you to come back together where you both feel and believe that, you're good together. It's happiness. It's full of joy. It's full of, just this walking on sunshine, walking on air type of, let's do it, let's get it type of energy where you're better together. Okay. So somebody is definitely thinking about renewing this connection or at least reevaluating it so that you can come back in a much better, in a much happier and better place with better luck this time around, especially if it's about to go around again. And we have timing, universal law. So this is definitely, when it comes to soul growth and ascension and the whole ascension and the awakening process, this doesn't happen overnight. We can't control the timing of it. So this is something that you're going to have to sit back and literally just watch the universe unfold. And as you sit back, observe, reflect, ask yourself the questions. Is this helping my vibration? Where am I vibrating at? Is this helping my soul growth, or is this killing my soul slowly? Only you know that. But the energy is connecting between the two of you, the timing. You might both want this very badly, and you might both believe might believe in this very badly, but for now, the timing and whatever you're going through, it's all divine. But if it's not moving, it's because the universe wants you to take a time out for now. Because the universe has to work as well. Just like you need to do your work and put in the time and energy to reflect and observe and reevaluate and just breathe, especially if you're feeling anxious. Okay, let this come as a sign to take all that anxiety and all that stress and all that worry, if you're carrying it around with you, that's all black and dark and negative energy, and do your best to clear it out from your vibration so that you can vibrate on a much higher frequency, okay? And tap in and get tuned in to the universe's timing. And the final message is there's jaded, closed, and do not disturb. So that makes a lot of sense, especially if you're not able to come into union right now with this person or get things off the ground or have that renewal, because somebody's heart could be closed off right now. Somebody could be putting the situation on pause. They could feel like love is just, it could exist, but maybe not for them. Or somebody could be feeling that maybe you guys have had too many ups and downs, that right now they just don't want to be disturbed and they want to take time and reflect. But I find that really interesting that this card came out, jaded, to finish off this part here, because it's okay to feel closed off and not wanting to be disturbed when you're taking your time to go within and to figure things out. But somebody else, because it's joint energy, this person could be shutting you out. This person could be making you feel like they don't want to be disturbed. They could be very closed off right now, and they could feel very, very jaded. So whoever picked this pile, there's a lot more going on that meets the eye, but there's a lot of depth here, and there's a lot of real love here and real potential, but everybody's responsible for their end of the street. We can't force somebody to do the work. All we can do is work on our own vibration and our own frequency levels and ascend at our own pace, and the right people that are meant to meet us there will, in divine timing. And to waste our time trying to open doors that are closed and trying to disturb somebody while they're thinking, it's not a healthy way to grow, and it lowers our vibration, because what we give attention to will grow. If we give attention to a dark heart and try to open it, we're going to end up draining ourselves. But if you give attention to yourself and to what's on your mind and do your best to let it all go and ask the universe to work for you and ask for signs and then reflect on it again, you'll slowly see the answers start to come. So this energy right here about being jaded and do not disturb, this isn't permanent. Things change all the time. Things could change by the time you finish this reading. This person might reach out to you. But what I'm getting right now is, yes, there's opportunities for luck and happiness and renewing this situation and the connection, but only on universal timing and law. And right now, I think it's best that both of you take your time to reflect, because this is hitting both of you. You're both learning and growing from each other. And to be honest with you, that's usually what true love is. And it comes with having to be patient and having to wait and going through those dark times, right? But at the end of the day, that's the only way we'll know what we really want and what really aligns with our vibration. Okay? And what is really just a door that is not going to open, where our time and the universe is trying to show us that we're wasting our time. So A lot of messages here for those who picked this pile. Hope this resonates with you guys. For those of you that really feel divinely guided to stick around and to have faith in this connection, don't give up on it. There are no guarantees that this person's heart or that your heart will ever open to it. But if you're working through something right now, whether it's you and you alone or with another person, or if it's because they put you in a situation or you allowed yourself to be put in a situation where you're trying to figure things out, give yourself time and remember that true love and all those things, they don't happen overnight. That only happens through communication and through sticking things out. And if this is a situation that's going to end for some of you watching, it's because it was universal timing and universal law, okay? And it's because your heart would have stayed black if it didn't, and your soul would never be able to grow. So again, a lot of lessons here. Some of you are meant to come back together. Some of you are meant to go really, really far. And some of you are meant to learn the lesson and, you know, find that happiness when you look back and when you reflect and just move on. So I hope these readings resonated with you all. And I wish you a beautiful weekend. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.